Hello and welcome. You're watching Sports News with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's get started with the headlines. Roston chases unbeaten 98 and skipper Jason Holder lead the recovery to take West Indies to 295 for 7 at stumps. The first score of 250 in 4 tests against India. Lakshya Sen qualifies for men's singles badminton final of the Youth Olympic Games, assures India of 7th medal in the tournament. Bajrang Punia becomes the first Indian to be seated in a World Wrestling Championship. He is seated third in 65 kg freestyle category. And England turn to next generation against Croatia in the Nations League. Gareth Southgate's side will be hoping for redemption. Switzerland take on Belgium, while Northern Ireland will be up against Austria. Our top story, West Indies were 295 for 7 at stumps on the opening day of the second and final test against India at the close of play on the first day of the second test match between India and West Indies at the Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium in Hyderabad. It was Roston Chase's unbeaten 98 which led the Windies fight back along with his captain Jason Holder, who made 52 runs. The third session was owned by Chase, who ensured the entire Windies batting lineup does not get bundled out anytime soon. After batting through a quota of 95 overs, the Windies were 295 for 7, with Devendra Bishu giving company to Chase.
This should be close. This should be very close.
Let's win this session.
A lot of runs, just lost the 1 wicket.
And to talk about the second test match, the first day of which we saw today in Hyderabad, we have with us a sports correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya. Welcome, Tapas, to Sports News. Well, Windies had everything going for them at the start of this game because they had won the toss. Besides that, the pitch was flat, and then they also had an injured bowler in Shardul Thakur. But did they capitalize?
No. If you go by the logic, when you look at a score of 295 for 7, you would say they will, they're probably even Steven as of now. There's 3 wickets still in hand, and Roston Chase still there in the middle. But when you look at the way the first session panned out and the way second session even panned out, you would say that they gave the chance to the opposition to make inroads. At 113 for 5, it was almost done and dusted before Roston Chase came out with that cameo of an innings, and Holder giving him that company. And look at those statistics, and when you look at that they were almost 5 wickets down. The half of the side was already cooling their heels back in the pavilion, and the score was just 100 odd runs. So if you take a look at that, you would say that this pitch, you must score at least 400 to 500 to put a pressure on the opposite team. And if you take a look at that, they are just close to 300 runs, and one would hope that they would make some more runs by the time India can wrap up their tail. But having said all that, one would say that they will still be ruining the fact that they lost half of their side and with just 100 odd runs on the score. And with
I was
also
coming
the
to that looking at the way the West Indies top order, middle order disappointed once again. One can't say perhaps that they capitulated the way they did in the first test in Rajkot, but another disappointing performance, you would say, by the top order and the middle order?
The first time they probably scored 250 odd run in 4 test matches against India, so that says a lot against the mindset that West Indies has. Again, apart from Roston Chase and Holder, and they use their reach to negate the spinners, you would say that either they were ultra cautious or they were ultra aggressive. And these were the two extremes that they were going, and that actually happened in the first test also. We saw how West Indies batsmen were either trying to hit every ball out of the park, or they were too cautious of the fact that spinners will come in the picture and then they can get out of that. So keeping that in mind, one thought that when this test match started, they will be circumspect, but at the same time will play ball on their own merit. So you have to see, a test match is all about understanding your own game as well as testing your own patience. That is where probably West Indies are right now falling short. They need to understand that every ball can't be hit. They have to understand that you can't just block every delivery. You have to play each and every delivery on its merit, and that is where the problem lies. Chase showed them that this is how you have to do. If the bowler are bowling good balls, you negate that with good defense. If they are bowling, if they are giving you hit me balls once in every over, well, you capitalize on it. You defend and you make that ball count and score the score of that ball. And that is how you have to play Test cricket. Test cricket, that is why it's called Test cricket. It tests your character. You have to get out of your comfort zone. We saw with Indian team when they went outside the subcontinent in England, in Australia, they struggle, and that is where the beauty of Test cricket lies. You have to have players who can play on each and every pitch, and West Indies showed
and this
that
was a flat pitch, and it's pretty
absolutely.
surprising
You just have to play, and also the fact that Shardul Thakur was not playing, just a couple of overs in his own.
Less than that, in fact, just 1.5.
Absolutely. So you have one bowler shot in your armory. It was a headache for Virat Kohli, but he would be saying that, well, I still have 297 for 7 for West Indies. So he would say that I can take that any day, considering the fact that they lost Shardul Thakur very first hour in the morning session.
Okay. And how do you see the performance of the bowlers? Would you give some credit to them as well? Umesh Yadav, Kuldeep Yadav, as well as Ashwin?
Well, let's start with Umesh Yadav. Umesh Yadav has an uncanny knack of bowling well with the older ball when the ball is reverse swinging, and that's exactly what we showed you in the clips that you can see. The ball tend to come in and he traps the batsman right in front, plumb in front of the wicket, and that is how exactly he got his 2 wickets. Now, keeping in that mind, we would say that in this pitch, when the new bowler tend to go for runs, he showed that yes, he had the capability. And he came back, and also when the new ball was given to him, when the new ball was due, he got the wicket, and he was bowling with a lot of venom, with a lot of pace, and showed with his figures. Now you go back to the spinners. Spinners have wreaked havoc all throughout the series. Even in the first Test match, beat Ashwin, beat Kuldeep Yadav, the West Indies found them, quite a handful to play, and somewhere down the line. Both Kuldeep, Kuldeep was giving those, wrong one, the other, the ball which, grips and, takes the, the Chinaman. So all this stuff that he was throwing at the West Indies batsmen, most of the batsmen, especially the top order, found it very difficult, and they were, both these spinners actually got West Indies under a tight leash, if I may use the word. And it took a lot of cajoling from Roston Chase, and remember Chase along with Downright was very careful not to just give away the wicket because they were already 5 wickets down, so they wanted to consolidate before they actually go out and score some runs. So they were circumspect at the first half an hour, and slowly when they got more confident, they played those ones and twos, and that is where probably West Indies need to learn from these 2 players, especially from Holder and Chase, because they
and also perhaps from Virat Kohli, the way he got his 100 last time around in the first Test match against West Indies in Rajkot. Thank you so much, Tapas, for having joined us for this. And India's newest Test cricketer, Shardul Thakur, will not take the field for the rest of the day after having walked off in the morning due to pain in the groin region. And Thakur, who could bowl only 1.4 overs on debut against West Indies in Hyderabad, has gone for scans, and an update on his participation for the rest of the Test will be taken after being assessed by the team management. When Thakur's front foot landed on the bowling crease as he delivered his 10th ball in Test cricket, it seemed to buckle and the pain was immediate. There was no follow-through, and even as he started hobbling on the spot, the physio Patrick Farhat ran out to assess the situation. It did not seem like any immediate treatment was done, though. For the most part, both men just spoke to each other before the captain Virat Kohli joined in. But soon Thakur began walking towards the dressing room. It was only half an hour ago that Thakur was being presented his first Test cap, the 264th Test cricketer for India. by coach Ravi Shastri, and he was kissing the India crest, celebrating his rise to five-day cricket after a first-class career that began in November 2012. He had been brought in to the 11 for Mohammad Shami, who, according to Kohli, was rested after playing 6 consecutive tests. Rishabh Pant will be in line for his ODI debut after being named in the 14-member squad for the first 2 ODIs against Windies. Regular skipper Virat Kohli returns to lead the side after being rested for the Asia Cup 2018, while Pant comes in place of Dinesh Karthik. MS Dhoni is expected to continue as the first-choice wicket-keeper. The pace attack wears an inexperienced look with Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah missing out. Mohammad Shami has been recalled to the side and will lead the attack that also comprises Shardul Thakur and Khalil Ahmed. The ODI series begins on the 21st of October in Guwahati. Squad for the first 2 ODIs is like this. Virat Kohli would be captaining the side. Rohit Sharma would be the vice-captain. There's Shikhar Dhawan, Ambati Rayudu, Manish Pandey, MS Dhoni, Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja, Yuzvendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Khalil Ahmed, Shardul Thakur and KL Rahul. Time for a short break. We'll be back with more news.
मैं नहीं मानता कि तंबाकू जानलेवा है। मैं नहीं मानता कि तंबाकू जानलेवा है। मैं नहीं मानता तंबाकू जानलेवा है।
चाहे हम कुछ भी कहें, कुछ लोग हमारा संदेश नहीं सुनते।
मैं नहीं मानता।
तंबाकू जानलेवा है। ये चेतावनी हर बैग पर है। इसे पढ़िए और इस पर विश्वास कीजिए।
एक मंदिर, दरगाह या गुरुद्वारा नहीं छोड़ा था जहाँ इसकी मिलने की मन्नत न मांगी हो। स्टेशन पर खो गई थी ये मिली भी तो कैसे? इन उंगलियों के निशान से। आधार कार्ड बनवाया था इसका।
सुना, वो आधार में बच्चों की फिंगरप्रिंट लेते हैं ना?
उससे कोई भी खोए हुए बच्चे को अपने घर तक पहुंचा सकता है।
ये तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था।
तो अब सोच लो।
आधार अपना लो, फायदे में रहोगे।
कुछ समय पहले मैंने शरीर पर एक दाग देखा, पर तकलीफ नहीं थी। फिर हाथ की उंगलियों में खिंचाव और सुन्नता रहने लगी और उंगलियां टेढ़ी होने लगी। मैं फौरन डॉक्टर के पास गया।
ये तो कुष्ठ के कारण है।
क्या मैं भी विकलांग हो जाऊंगा?
अरे घबराओ नहीं, कुष्ठ के शीघ्र व पूर्ण इलाज से विकलांगता को रोका जा सकता है।
पूरा इलाज करवाने से मैं पूरी तरह से स्वस्थ हूँ और अब मैं पहले की तरह काम कर रहा हूँ।
जी हाँ, कुष्ठ का इलाज संभव है और सरकारी स्वास्थ्य केंद्रों पर मुफ्त उपलब्ध है।
आओ, आयुर्वेद से जन स्वास्थ्य का फैलाएं उजियारा। सुरक्षित, प्रभावी और प्रकृति का वरदान हो जन जन का कल्याण। बने स्वस्थ विश्व हमारा। आयुर्वेद से आरोग्य जीवन और व्याधि मुक्त भारत, यही ध्येय हमारा। इस धनतेरस 5 नवंबर को आयुर्वेद दिवस पर आयुर्वेद की ओर कदम बढ़ाएं। दीर्घायु और अच्छे स्वास्थ्य का आशीर्वाद पाएं।
आधुनिक और आसान होते जा रहे हैं परिवार नियोजन के साधन, जैसे नया MPA इंजेक्शन। फोन करें और पाएं परिवार नियोजन से जुड़ी हर जानकारी। जोड़ी जिम्मेदार जो प्लान करे परिवार।
Welcome back to sports news. Lakshya Sen emerged on top in a thrilling men's singles badminton semi-final at the Youth Olympic Games against second seed Kodai Naroka in Buenos Aires on Thursday. Sen defeated Naroka 14-21, 21-15, 24-22 to guarantee India the 7th medal in the youth multi-nation sporting event. This will be India's second badminton medal at the Youth Olympics after HS Pranoy won the silver medal in Singapore in 2010. India took over the podium in men's high jump T42 by 63 category, claiming all the medals up for grabs, with defending champion Sharat Kumar smashing 2 records to snare a second successive gold in the Asian Para Games. The 26-year-old World Championships silver medalist bettered the Asian as well as the Games record with a jump of 1.9 meters to claim the top honours. The T42 by 63 covers lower limb deficiency, leg length difference, impaired muscle power and impaired range of movement. The silver was claimed by Rio Paralympic bronze medalist Bajrang Punia in 1.82 meters, and the bronze went to the Rio gold medalist Thangavelu Mariappan in 1.67 meters. Punia's jump was his season's best effort. Commonwealth Games and Asian Games gold medalist Bajrang Punia is the only Indian wrestler from a strong 30-member squad to get a seeding at the upcoming World Championships, as he has been seeded third in the 65 kilograms category in men's freestyle competition. Going by his form, Bajrang will be a strong medal contender at the World Wrestling Championships, scheduled to be held in Budapest and Hungary from the 20th to 28th of October. The United World Wrestling has introduced the ranking points-based seeding system for the first time for the World Championships. Bajrang has 45 points in the ranking list released by the world body. In the past, wrestlers were pulled into the brackets via a random draw of lots. Time for another break. We'll be back with more.
दादी दादी के जाने से पहले पोता पोती का मुंह दिखा दो, यही कहा गया ना तुमको। ये पढ़।
अब नए गर्भ निरोधक इंजेक्शन आ चुके हैं।
ये तू पढ़।
महिला एक बार इंजेक्शन लगवाए तो 3 महीनों के लिए निश्चिंत हो जाए।
समझ गए ना दादी क्या चाहती है? परिवार सोच समझ कर बढ़ाओ, खुश रहो।
सेहत और सोच दोनों से तैयार होकर परिवार बढ़ा रहा है इंडिया। फोन करें और सब जानकारी पाइए। जोड़ी जिम्मेदार जो प्लान करे परिवार।
भारत सरकार का अल्पसंख्यक कार्य मंत्रालय सीखो और कमाओ और गरीब नवाज कौशल विकास योजना के तहत एक सैनिटरी सुपरवाइजर्स की टीम तैयार कर रहा है, जिसमें लाखों युवा साफ सफाई के आधुनिक तरीके सीखकर काम भी पा रहे हैं। हमारे प्रिय प्रधानमंत्री का मिशन स्वच्छ भारत स्वस्थ भारत।
कुछ समय पहले मैंने शरीर पर एक दाग देखा, पर तकलीफ नहीं थी। फिर हाथ की उंगलियों में खिंचाव और सुन्नता रहने लगी और उंगलियां टेढ़ी होने लगी। मैं फौरन डॉक्टर के पास गया।
ये तो कुष्ठ के कारण है।
क्या मैं भी विकलांग हो जाऊंगा?
अरे घबराओ नहीं, कुष्ठ के शीघ्र व पूर्ण इलाज से विकलांगता को रोका जा सकता है।
पूरा इलाज करवाने से मैं पूरी तरह से स्वस्थ हूँ और अब मैं पहले की तरह काम कर रहा हूँ।
जी हाँ, कुष्ठ का इलाज संभव है और सरकारी स्वास्थ्य केंद्रों पर मुफ्त उपलब्ध है।
आओ आयुर्वेद से जन स्वास्थ्य का फैलाएं उजियारा, सुरक्षित, प्रभावी और प्रकृति का वरदान हो जन जन का कल्याण, बने स्वस्थ विश्व हमारा। आयुर्वेद से आरोग्य जीवन और व्याधि मुक्त भारत, यही ध्येय हमारा। इस धनतेरस 5 नवंबर को आयुर्वेद दिवस पर आयुर्वेद की ओर कदम बढ़ाएं, दीर्घायु और अच्छे स्वास्थ्य का आशीर्वाद पाएं।
राजू बेटा
जी,
तुम्हारी मम्मी ने तुमसे कुछ बात करनी थी।
हाँ माँ। कुछ नहीं बेटा, कल तो इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज जा रहा है ना, घर से दूर पहली बार। अरे मेरी जान, आप बात करो ना, मैं आती हूँ। क्या बात करनी है पापा?
तो बेटा वो एच फॉर हिप्पोपोटामस काफी परेशान है ना? हा?
बच्चों से H4 HIV के बारे में खुल के बात करना किसी इम्तिहान से कम नहीं, पर उन्हें असुरक्षित यौन संबंध और संक्रमित सुई से बचे रहने की सलाह तो देनी पड़ेगी। तो दीजिए और कीजिए उनकी परवरिश का असली इम्तिहान पास। सरकारी अस्पताल में HIV की जांच और इलाज गुप्त और मुफ्त। HIV से बचाव लाइफ का असली इम्तिहान।
Welcome back to sports news. The countdown for the 2018 Airtel Delhi Half Marathon has begun with over 34,000 participants, including India's only gold label athletes Gopi T and defending champion Nitendra Singh Rawat gearing up to vie for the top honours at the world's most prestigious half marathon.
Three-time Olympic gold medalist distance runner Tirunesh Dibaba will be one of the star attractions at the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon, scheduled to be held on October 21st. The Ethiopian legend, who is the current 5,000-meter world record holder, has won 5 world titles on the track as well as 4 world cross-country championships victories. The Indian contingent will put up a fierce showcase as the Asian marathon champion Gopi T will lead the Indian elite men's category alongside defending champion and the course record holder Nitendra Singh Rawat. Sanjeevani Jadhav and Monica Athare will lead the Indian elite women's category.
This year the Airtel Delhi Half Marathon has a record number of almost 35,000 runners. And a large chunk of them are in the half marathon, the 21 kilometer thing, which is excellent. 100 NGOs will raise monies using this event. Over 5.5 crores has already been generated.
Credited with bringing a running revolution in India, Delhi Half Marathon has announced top corporate leaders as official pacers for the amateurs across 21 kilometer and 10 kilometer at the 2018 Airtel Delhi Half Marathon. It is for the first time ever in the history of running in India that top-level executives of reputed business houses will set the pace at the world's most prestigious half marathon.
When we look at this community, right, the whole running community, everybody is either a blogger or a small business or a homemaker. And the connection between what they are doing physically and the connection what we are doing digitally is very strong. So we feel like the tools and the products we provide, which can help them really grow faster, and also connecting to the mission, right? Because every runner, as I was talking earlier, has a mission in life. They want to do something bigger, and we are helping them bring their ideas online.
2018 edition of the event has 104 civil society organizations participating, 63 companies fielding 91 teams, 44 care champions and 7 youth care teams, and have already raised over rupees 5.50 crores, making it one of the largest fundraising platforms in the country. Taposh Bhattacharya's report, DD News.
A team of 16 Air Force officers and airmen have completed an over 4,000-kilometer long bicycle expedition along the Himalayas. The 48-day biking expedition, which began from Daulat Beg Oldi in Ladakh and ended at Kibutu in Arunachal Pradesh, is the longest expedition undertaken by any service.
Expedition through the whole length and breadth of the northern states of the country on our 86th anniversary is exhibits your zeal and spirit of adventure, and I also acknowledge the support that was given by all commands and stations to you en route.
Expedition was the first time when we went through all 3 terrains: high altitude, mountains above 16,000 feet, plains with high temperatures, and then again into heat sapping humidity and heavy rains into the east. So the aim was to cover all along the Himalayas, and we covered it from the Himalayas, northernmost point in Himalayas in India, to the easternmost point along the Himalayas in the east. This is the first time this has been done by the services.
England travelled east to Croatia in a repeat of one of this year's World Cup semi-finals. On paper, this seems like a difficult tie for the Three Lions, but Croatia will have to play this match with no home supporters due to a fan racism incident back in 2015. The ball in a 2-1 Nations League win. A run to the last 4 with the third youngest squad at the World Cup raised expectations of what is to come from a richly talented generation under Gareth Southgate's tutelage. The fact that the game will be played to a virtually empty stadium will not detract from the high-profile nature of the match, with both sides looking to bounce back following disappointing opening campaign defeats. And that's it on this edition of the News Bulletin. Until we meet again, it's goodbye. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.